afternoon, everyone. I am Melissa. I live in Terrebonne, Oregon. That is near Bend, Oregon, or near Smith Rock, as like our little well-known piece. I have lived here for about 7.5 years, and I just absolutely love it here. With this degree plan, I am really hoping to go on and pursue a master's degree in counseling. I would love to work in a clinical setting, I believe, at this time, maybe for either youth or for like marriage and family. I maybe even one day will own my own practice. Who knows? I feel like it's endless once you get the bachelor's, and then you can take it many different directions. During my downtime, when I'm not hanging with my family or working, I love to ride my horses. I love to do community service. I will make meals with the Ronald McDonald House and just getting out in the community and getting to know others through service. As I began this week and did the reading, I really found it interesting as I read chapter 1 and just the dynamic process that as I thought about it further, it's not necessarily like a single event or a single communication, but it's a complex process, and it's like the lines between, like the sender and the receiver, and it made me just think about more how communication can just be perceived in so many different directions. If we're not clear, it can just become a blur. In chapter 2, the perception and making sense of like the sensory information and the way that we process as individuals was just like really, really intriguing to me. The part where like we interpret what is being said or communicated because of the world around us just really made me stop and think about the role that it just plays in our communication and in our thought processes and just how we perceive information. And so I found that really, really interesting. As I went on and did my DISC assessment, I am a personality type S. So I find it to be pretty spot on, although I did feel like maybe there were some other areas where I have some skills or maybe some characteristics as well within. With the type S, I feel like I'm very friendly. I love to smile. I am very empathetic. I love getting to know others. And I like to do that with a warmth. I am generally interested in what they're sharing with me. I love to listen more than I speak. And I honestly just love peace. I love a calm environment and the harmony and just steadiness. I often will choose, like when I am communicating, words to just avoid conflict or misunderstanding because it makes me very uncomfortable. In the workplace and things like that, I do appreciate a little bit of praise, like, hey, good job, Melissa, whatever it may be. Or just, you're doing a great job on that project. And I think that really comes from not wanting to let others down. I want to make sure that they're pleased, but that also comes from being what I like to say, I am a recovering people pleaser. And I just want that harmony and the people around me happy. As a personality S, the steadiness, I handle stress. I guess one thing I was thinking on is pushy or critical people are just really, really hard to deal with. So that would be stressful. Or I become very, very drained when I have to fight to have my voice heard, or I have to communicate where there's conflict because it is so uncomfortable. And then it takes me a little bit to recharge. For teamwork, I really, really, I navigate it through the collaboration. And I think that is just fabulous because it is just like the insight and the team and the light bulb moments and the things that make me think deeper. I love making a difference. I love the part of developing relationships and just how the different personality types can work well together. I love listening to others. I like getting people involved. I want people to feel connected and to have a place. And when I go back to like handling the stress piece, I think about a recent situation where in my main work, we serve different counties. There's 7 of us on a team. And my coworkers were coming to me and saying, hey, Melissa, this is happening. And they're all just really unsatisfied. And being the harmonizer, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to reach out to our supervisor. Our supervisor is personality conscientious type. And he's very analytical. He's very critical. He's very, I don't want to say set in his ways, but in a way he is. It took me a couple days to do some processing because, again, I have to approach him and the conflict or confrontation is really uncomfortable. And I was able to share with him, some of the concerns of the team, and I was able to put it together in an analytical way. So that's one way that I was able to change my communication. And even though it was very uncomfortable to initiate, it actually at the same time was very freeing. When I make decisions, at times with the people-pleasing piece, I want to meet everyone's expectations. I want everyone happy. I want everyone satisfied. I don't want people to feel disappointed, or I don't want them to feel let down. But through that, I have learned that it's okay to say no, that my own needs also can be tended to or balanced while I'm accommodating others. And so an example with that is one of my side jobs. I work at a local restaurant to help some friends out. And so oftentimes I will do a serving shift and they'll reach out and be like, hey, Melissa, can you cover my shift? Or, hey, Melissa, can you take over the rest of my shift so I can go? And I have really learned, even though it was incredibly hard in the beginning, to say, I'm so sorry, I can't stay tonight. I have this commitment to my family. And realizing that the boundaries that have been set are okay. Or maybe it's even within my family and my son saying, Mom, can we go here? Or Mom, can I have this play date? And it can be, you know what? The answer isn't no, but please wait. Can we address this when it gets closer to Friday? So just different things like that. As far as shared communication styles, I would say that my mom and my grandmother have almost, if they didn't do the test, but almost would have to say that they would be a personality type S as well. Just very service-oriented woman, very like bringing people together, wanting to make a difference, making sure everyone's okay. Just really that, like, making sure everyone isn't let down or that they belong. And so with this class, I am just so excited to dive further into communication and to learn more and to grow. And I'm looking forward to getting to know each one of you better. I hope you have a great week. Thank you.